Hi, welcome to Kerry's Cards. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to show you how to make this lovely little gift box bag that we have here. Quite a little dinky one, uses one piece of designer series paper. I'm going to be using the one that's out of the new autumn winter catalogue. I love all the different colours that are in there. We have some mint macaron and we have early espresso. We also, and it's because it's double-sided, you can have a beautiful contrast on the top of your box. And you can see again that it's got some beautiful gold or rose or copper embellishments on it. Today I'm going to use, be using, it's a very typical decision, but this piece here we're going to use today. So I'll just put these to one side. What we do is we're going to make one box, and then the leftover piece of card that we're going to, or paper that we'll have, we're going to use that to make this little card here. Very quick and simple and straightforward. But let's just crack on today and start with the basics of the box that we're going to make, or bag. I've put the dimensions for you down here onto one side so that again you can pause. It's going to be live, real time, so if I make a mistake then I make a mistake and I'm going to try and correct it for you whilst I'm going. Hopefully I won't. And then you can stop and pause the video at any point in time so you can pick up the dimensions that you need there. So we're going to take our 12 by 12 piece of designer paper and then utilise our trimmer and cut this one at 9 inches. This is the piece we're going to put to one side and keep for later. Then we're going to cut our two pieces of card, 1 and 2. Turn it round on the 12-inch side. We're going to cut the first cut is going to be at, because we've already got 9 inches, we want 9 by 7, and then by rights that should give us a 5-inch piece that's left there. You can then score this on your score using your score blade on your trimmer. I like to use my Score Pal, which I'm just going to get for you down here. So I'm going to take our larger piece of the two pieces and then turn with our 9 inches across the top, and the first two score marks we're going to make are 1 inch, and this is going to create the turnover, and then we're going to score again at 6 3/4, and this is going to make the base of the bag. We then turn it round 90 degrees, so we then have the 7 inches running across the top, and we are going to score at 2 1/4 and 4 3/4. And then what we're doing here is we're creating the sides of the bag there, and that's the front. We then put that to one side. We pick up our 5 inches by 9 inch piece next, so piece number 2, and we're going to score this again at 1 inch, and then we're going to score this at 6 3/4. And we're going to turn it round, and this time we're going to change the dimensions here. We're going to score at 1 1/4 and 3 3/4. Okay, put the scoreboard to one side. Next we need to get our snipping scissors, and we will cut the base of our box where we're going to fold our corners in on both pieces. So the deeper part, so this is the 2 1/4 cuts. We then take our bone folder and we're going to create the top of the box. So again, we use our bone folder now to make sure that all the folds are nice and strong. Helps break down the fibres in the paper. And fold over again. And as I'm doing this, I'm not quite sure which side I want to use actually. I was going to do this side, but I think it's a shame to hide away all the gold sparkles. So I'm actually going to turn it over and change my mind. And we're going to do a box with the mint macaron and the gold as the centerpiece. And that's the beauty of having the designer series paper, because you can chop and change and pick what you want to use, the size you want to use as you go along. So just take this one back and fold it back over and just redo the edges that we've just done there. Okay, so we're going to take our Tombow glue, and then I just put a little bit in here in the corners and hold it to make sure it holds the edges down. And do the same this side. Hold the edges down. Okay. Next, I'm going to take my double-sided tape. Oh, I don't, sorry, we need to do these sides as well, just to make sure that it all stays down. Can be sticky. Then I'm going to take my double-sided tape and pop that strip on each edge of the smaller piece of your, so this is piece number 2, the 5-inch piece that we were using, because these bits are going to be the inside of the box and attached to the other side of your box. Bag, I keep calling it a box, it's like a box. When you're ready, if you've got sharp nails, that's brilliant. If you haven't, I sometimes use a little pokey tool, technical term, to lift off the backing of the paper, and then I throw it on the floor in the hope that I get the bin. And what we'll do with these is, you can use Tombow glue. I sometimes use Tombow glue because it gives you a little bit more time to move the project together and stick it together. Then I want you to lie the cards down and line them up at the top. The top edges match and marry up there. And then bring the box over and then marry up this side to the inside edge of the card there. Then you have the base of your card or box. We are then going to fold in these two. Now the joins I like to have at the back of the box, so I will make sure that this fold here is the last one to go down when I stick. So again, this time I use my Tombow glue. Let's just double check, so that's the back of the box. So I want this one as my last one down. So that we then have that nice neat edge at the front. Put my hands in just to push down and make sure the base is nice and secure. So the edges are all in line. And there we have your lovely first little bag. Now I've designed this specifically to fit a particular product that I had in mind that I'm going to give some friends. And it's the perfect size for a lovely can of Gordon's, I think. Of course, you could put anything in there, little box set of earrings, nail varnishes, presents. What we're going to do, we're just going to finish it off with some ribbon. So it's a little carry handle. I've got a little tool here to poke a little hole in either side. I normally do it just by eye, about the centre, just above the baseline. I'm going to be using this lovely mint macaron matching ribbon as well, and I need 15 inches. Pop this through. Hole, she says. Give a little pokey tool back. Technical term, pokey tool. pull it through. Sometimes it's a bit stubborn. It's nice thick, this, but lovely soft ribbon. This is nice and thick but soft at the same time, if that makes sense. Tie a nice neat knot. Trim the edges that I've just frayed as I've pushed it through. So that's one side. Then get your other side. This one might go through first time. Let's see. Yep. Tie it into a knot. And again, just trim off the edges where we've frayed. And there we have a beautiful, lovely little gift bag box for you to pop in your little treat of the gin and tonic. So that's the gift bag. Now we can make a lovely little gift card to go with that. I'm not today, but what I will do is I'm going to quickly whip up a little card then, because we have this one piece strip of paper that was left, remember, from the designer series making the box. So what I'm going to do, I've picked some colours to match the card that we have there. I have the 3 colours, so the early espresso, vanilla and the mint macaron, so it matches the box. I'm going to make a quick card using the paper, so you could then have a nice matching card to give with the gift that you're giving, whatever you decide to put inside. So I'm going to take my piece of A4 paper 4 inches and cut down that. I'm then going to fold this in half using my bone folder. Make sure it's all lined up. Again, take it back to my trimmer, and I know I want that to be 5.35 inches. So I've cut a smidgen off the end. The reason I've done this is then I know that my next layer I'm going to use as vanilla, and I want to go down 1/4 inch gaps. So because I was 4 inches wide there, I now know I need to be 3 3/4, and then I'm going to go down 1 inch here, 1/4 inch, sorry, to 5.5, and that will then give me that layer inside. I'm then going to take my next layer, mint macaron, go in another point. I need a new blade on my trimmer. Okay, quick trick there, if you're finding this any problems, get a little sanding block and take off the rough edges. And go in one more there. So that one. Then I'm going to take my piece of card, DSP, and I think I'm going to cut it down that way, give myself some 4 inches. So at the moment this is 3 inches. I'm going to cut this into 1 inch strips lengthways, because I want my pattern to go that way. So that's my 1 inch strips. So the plan is then that we're going to just pop them in there like that to create a pattern. So my last cut here, piece of card, was 3.5. So each of these need to be 1/4 shorter. So we're going to turn them round. Did I just say that was 3.5? So I need it to be 3.25. So I'm going to go to 3.25 and cut. So that's 1, 3.25, 2, 3.25, 3, and I think I want one more, 3.25. Okay. If you wanted to, you could choose the other side. And sometimes as well, you need to make sure, looking at your pattern, if you want your card upright. So for example, this card's going to open this way, so card is going to stand up, so you want your pattern to be that way, because otherwise it looks slightly odd the other way. Put these to one side, and let's put the card together using my glue. Okay, so just put the layers together. Okay, 1, 2, and then always start with 1 on one corner. And try and give yourself the same amount of space, the top and the bottom, and as along the sides. And then I would go on this side next to make sure it looks the same over there. And you're happy with that, then position your Tombow on the bottom, back. And just make sure, because got the Tombow, you've still got a little bit of movement and wriggle room in them to make them the same gaps in between. Like little window panes. Then what I'm going to do is I've got a lovely 2 pieces of, I've pre-cut these actually, using these rectangle shaped dies from the catalogue. I'm going to make a little banner to go there. So I've tagged mine, the other card that we had here. So I've created these little gift V's. I'm going to do the same on this one, and basically the quickest way of doing it, go halfway to the bottom of the card and cut. Then take your little snippers and go to the base of that first cut, put it out, base of the next cut, and that's your tag. So we could just do the tag on its own. I think it'll lift it a little bit if we put a bit of shine on, so we'll do the same there. So a little bit of a cut up, cut there, cut there. There we go, a bit of Tombow glue to stick them together. Of course, what you could do is, if you didn't want to put anything on this, you could actually create that into the gift tag for the box. And that'd go quite sweetly there, tying it on together. In fact, should we do that? Let's do that instead, shall we? Yeah, I'm going to put that on there because I think it does need a gift tag. So put a little hole in the top. And then I'm going to use the copper that comes with, so we use this one in the bag, on the bag to make the handle, but in the pack it also comes with some lovely copper ribbon. So we cut a piece of that off. This is a much stiffer ribbon than the mint macaron one. We'll get my stamp pads, because we've got some early espresso in there. I'm going to use my early espresso ink pad, and the stamp pads I'm going to use are from Here's a Card. Gives you lots of different options. You've got there, you've got your typical birthday, which I quite like because you can fussy cut round. Congratulations, birthdays, thank yous, and sympathy. So it's actually a really good starter kit if you've not had or don't have many wording dies. So I've mopped them up onto my block. I'm actually just going to put this into it. You made my day. Now, I'm not very good at stamping straight, so what I tend to do is would just do it as a crooked. You can try and line it up if you like. Then let's thread this through the ribbon. Tie that nicely, and then let's tie that onto our box there. So there there we have gift box bag, gift box bag. And we still need to make a little something on that, I think, don't we? So let's stamp the image thanks on this. And let's use one of my punches to create slightly off where I've put that, but will that work? You could pop that there, it's just a bit different. And if you wanted to help build it up again, that was the 1.38. I might change my mind on this in a minute, it might not look good. If I pop that on there. Line it up on the bottom and then turn your punch upside down. You can see that. Actually, we've just made it slightly bigger. You could put it that way, but I think that's better. And there we have. I'm going to pop that some dimensional so it pops out just a little bit. Pop that there like that. And there we have your final card and bag for your, oh, I've got a pin on my finger. Bag for your gin and tonic. I hope you've been able to keep up. If not, hopefully you've paused and rewound and done what you need. If you've got any questions, then please ask, and I'll obviously be happy to help with any questions you have. Hope you've enjoyed making this box, and stay tuned for some more that I might be recording in the next week. Many thanks, bye.